video showing Nigeria's president-elect Bola Tinubu meeting with the chairman of Heirs Holdings, Tony Elumelu, at his home in Lagos following Tinubu's victory at the polls.
Last man standing.
It's still standing.
It's still standing. Last man standing. See? How come two of you are wearing the same thing? Is that a uniform? Last man standing.
I am too glad. I'm okay. I'm getting in there.
These are another supporter. Always argue.
Yeah. Okay.
Rufai, last man standing. I mean, this video was trending on social media all evening yesterday. When Tony Elumelu posted it saying that he met with the president-elect and they discussed how to empower the youth. What do you think?
Truth has to be told. Tempers are very high now.
Okay.
Words like last man standing, no. Let the court rule. He's president-elect, but let the court rule. And it's the last man standing phrase a lot of people are reacting to.
That's what it is.
And they have a reason to react. Why are they reacting? Because INEC did not do as he said it would do. And when you get the process of something wrong, then the thing becomes suspect. And it's not only us that we're talking about this. Even Chatham House that President Yakub went to address said they didn't get the process right. So we have a long legal battle, and sadly enough, it is the court that will truly determine who is the last man standing. It's a court battle, as ahead of us, that we are seeing play out. It is the court that will determine the last man standing. He's president-elect, but the court will determine who the last man standing is, which I'm not happy about, because it just throws away the right of the people to be able to vote. And that's why it is a shameful thing that this electoral law, using technology that we thought was going to reduce litigation, has now increased litigation because of the failures of INEC. Very sad. But a businessman meeting president-elect, no qualms with that. Businessmen will always align one way or the other. It's not emotions, they do it for the business.
Absolutely.
But it is the court in this regard that will determine who the last man standing is. And it's going to be a long drawn out battle, and we can only wait for that.
All right, Dr. Abati, last man standing.
Well, the reference to last man standing is one of the nicknames that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu acquired in the course of his political career. So it is not new. Some people call him Jagaban, some people call him last man standing, some people call him BAT or BAT. Now, in 2003 election, when President Olusegun Obasanjo was seeking a second term, he tried to play the ethnic politics to get the government in the Southwest, belonging to the AC then, Action Congress then, to support him. So his strategies talked to all the governors. All the governors cooperated. But as it turned out, having told people to vote for Obasanjo in the presidential election, the people, not being so sophisticated, in the gubernatorial election, they voted again for the PDP. But Bola Tinubu was a smarter guy who refused. He headed on to Lagos, and he was the only one who survived out of all the PDP, all the AC governors in the Southwest. So he became known as the last man standing. So we don't know what exactly Tony Elumelu, popularly known as TOE, was referring to there.
Yeah,
whether that historical nickname or contemporary developments, but I don't want to second guess him. But you could see that in the interaction, there's a lot of familiarity, between them. And the the president-elect himself has been doing the equivalent of a victory lap. After visiting Buhari in Daura, he came to Lagos ahead of the previously March 11 scheduled gubernatorial elections. He went to see the Oba of Lagos. Okay, now he went to see Tony Elumelu, is very prominent in the business space. And, you know, it's power game. Once they say you are the president-elect, you quickly take ownership. And that's why we have been having major sightings of Bola Tinubu here and there, you know, trying to claim the space. However, what is more important is what we were told they discussed, which was reported by Tony Elumelu himself, youth empowerment. Everybody knows that Tony Elumelu, you know, is very strong on the issue of youth empowerment through his Tony Elumelu Foundation, which has impacted on young people, entrepreneurs, you know, in all the countries of Africa, and he has provided support for over 10,000 young people who are into, you know, entrepreneurship. And it's a living program that continues to give back to society. Now, how does Asiwaju Bola Tinubu come into the picture? If you look at his Restored Hope, 84-page political manifesto for this election, it talks about young people. It talks about promoting digital inclusion, fintechs, empowering young people. And if, as Tony Elumelu reported, that was their major point of discussion, then of course it's an important subject, because if anybody wants to be president, yes, of course you will need to, you know, collaborate with people who are working on specific issues. Finally, it may well also be that it was just a friendly visit. After all, I'm sure there are neighbors in, you know, the highbrow part of Lagos. He could have been passing in front of Tony Elumelu's house and say, let's check whether Tony is at home. But those other details we do not know.
Absolutely.
People have relationships, they have IOUs, they have friends in different places, you know, so beyond politics, what succeeds is human relationship.
All right. Ayo.
Well, Audrey, the first thing I noticed when I watched that video is that there were no ethnic conversations in that video.
Love it.
You can see that when it comes to interest aligning, it's the people who will suffer the most are the ordinary Nigerians. Tony Elumelu is from Delta State. Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is from Lagos. State. Tony Elumelu lives in Lagos State, pays, I'm sure, some of his taxes here. No one is having this conversation based on this video. People are hailing, they are coming together. So that's an interesting thing to note, that we shouldn't allow, especially for ordinary Nigerians who are fighting and killing themselves, at the end of the day, at the very top echelon, they are making deals and making alliances and not talking about ethnicity. I mean, to be fair on Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, he's never spoken along those lines, but his supporters, especially under his party, have been notorious for doing this, and so we must speak about that. And then the other part, of course, is that Tony Elumelu is a private citizen. He can choose to host whomever he wants to host in his home. Yes. He can choose to, be friendly and make alliances. That's the truth. But of course, it must be said that he does have admirers. He does have young people who are who perhaps feel very strongly about his support of the candidate. And again, going back to my last point on the fact that people are free to support, endorse, vote, for anyone that it's a democracy, and we must respect that.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you guys have been fantastic on what's trending today. We had a long show today, really amazing. Well, thank you for your great contribution on what's trending today. Well, that's all I have for you on what's trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.